Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Okay. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys. This one is called 100 Pipers. It is from Scotland, obviously, but it is in the United States. Is handled by Heaven Hill, 80 proof, aged 3 long years, or if you want to say 3 minimally required years. It's bottled in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. Now overseas, no, it's handled by a different company, Pernod Ricard. Now, when Seagram's collapsed in 2000, as companies sometimes do when they're mishandled, other companies came and bought up their stuff, and the 100 Pipers was snapped up for the U.S. market by Heaven Hill and for the overseas market by Pernod Ricard. And Pernod Ricard also owns the Seagram's gin, London Dry Gin, and the distillers, the reserve. What's it called? Seagram's whatever reserve. I can't remember it. All of a sudden, I saw it Friday night at bingo. They bought I said, oh, they bought the expensive one, the big glass 1,750 milliliter. I think it's called Distiller's Reserve. It's a lower volume, longer aged, better quality product. Okay, so they have various companies that produce various Seagram's products. I'm not going to go into the whole history of all of that. You know, it doesn't matter. There is no company called Seagram's anymore, though. Okay, even Coca-Cola, they own the Seagram's ginger ale. Okay, but it says on here, Piper's Import Company. Well, you know, there's no such real company. It's Heaven Hill, but it says 100 Pipers. This was introduced in 1965, by the way, by Chivas Brothers, Chivas Regal, which was bought out by Seagram's, so really it was Seagram's. Deluxe blended Scotch whiskey celebrates this fine tradition of the 100 Pipers, Bonnie Prince Charlie, the Battle of Culloden in 1844 and all that stuff. Okay, 1844, ha ha ha, 1745. I don't know why I said 1844. 17, the Stuart Uprising, Catholic Scottish French supported uprising against the Protestant House of Hanover. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Anyway, carefully selected malt and grain whiskeys are blended together to create a Scotch whiskey of outstanding quality. I did not see that personally. I thought it was tolerable quality. But anyway, its distinctive, smooth, yet subtly smoky taste is appreciated by connoisseurs around the world. This fine whiskey is 3 years old. Yeah, I don't know how many connoisseurs are drinking 100 Piper Scotch whiskey, to tell you the truth, but that's what the label says. And my friend David, he says, oh yeah, that's a bar whiskey. And he looked at the bottle, then all of a sudden he just blurted out, that's a bar whiskey. I said, oh, okay. Meaning they keep it down there below the bar. And when you say, I want a Scotch and whatever, that's what they grab. It's $8.99 a bottle. Now, you buy it in the 1 liter bar bottles. It's at some places, it's really cheap, you know. All right, so let's see. Got to make my tags. I was watching the news. 100p PD. Sorry about that. Okay, well, so I was trying to watch all these video reviews this morning for the Moscow Mule. I did Moscow Mule, and most people hated it, but I liked it. I didn't. Let's see what was wrong with it. Oh, they were all saying, oh, I don't like the way it tastes. Well, it's supposed to taste weird. It's an ale. It's a sour ale with ginger and lime added to it. Not ginger and lime flavor, but actual ginger and lime. And it's 10% alcohol. It doesn't seem like it. So, of course, it's going to taste weird. I think, though, got to watch what I say, but I think all of a sudden you're starting to see all these negative reviews for Ballast Point. And I think that's because they were bought out by Constellation Brands. And so then you start seeing that oftentimes. I've noticed it. All of a sudden, people are ragging on it. And it's more like a social justice protest review than an actual review of the product. And I've just heard people will just say, oh, I'll never drink it again. They sold out. They betrayed us. I'll never drink it again. I support the little man. I do not drink mass-produced corporate products as I rant and rave on my mass-produced corporate smartphone and drive my mass-produced corporate car. Well, whatever, you know, I don't want to start ranting and raving with Ronald, although I could. All right. Now, this one is sort of famous, or if maybe it's more infamous or something, but now we're going up against something that ain't famous at all. Piperdean. Say Piperdean. What the hell? Yeah, well, it's actually a prettier label, I think. Piperdean blended Scotch whiskey. Oh, and there is a 100 Piper's like 12-year age, but you can't get it around here, I don't think. It's like you can get it in India. Blended Scotch whiskey, product of Scotland. Well, that makes sense. Oak cask matured, premium quality. Premium quality. That's why it's $5.99 a bottle. You see, because you can always tell when it's $5.99 a bottle. It's the best. An expertly blended Scotch whiskey, matured in fine oak cask. Yeah, it probably is expertly blended because it's probably contract produced at some big distillery in Scotland, which they'll never tell you what it is. But and then it's sold to Sazerac company to sell to Albertsons. It's an Albertsons, Bond, Jewel Osco, Safeway, Super Value brand thing item. Bottled by the Founders Company, Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, you say the Founders Company. I'm not familiar with that distillery. Yeah, I know, because it ain't a real company. It's an alias for Sazerac, Buffalo Trace. Well, Buffalo Trace is in Frankfurt. But it's the same company. Barton, 1792, Glenmore Distilling. I can go on and on. It could be, I mean, you know, it could literally be coming from the same distillery in Scotland. Now they're talking about, oh, we take this fine malt whiskey and blend it with column stilled grain whiskey. Well, you know, it's mainly, you know what it is. It's mainly column stilled grain whiskey. And what grain? Almost certainly corn, or in Scotland, maize, right? Maize, Indian corn. Because in Europe, they'll call wheat corn. You know, like in the Bible, like if you read the Bible, they talk about corn. Well, when they say corn in the Bible, they're talking about wheat. Okay. But anyway, you know, this stuff, this blended Scotch whiskey, like what I'm looking at here, is just very similar to American blended whiskey and Canadian blended whiskey. It's about 80% bulk distillate, which has practically no flavor and practically no aroma by design, I might add. And it's the flavor and the character and all the fabulous qualities they're talking about comes from the single malt whiskey, or really not really single malt, multiple malt whiskey, because it's probably different malt whiskeys coming from different parts of Scotland, different regions, okay? And they're all blended together by experts. Well, they do have experts doing it, because it would taste like nastiness if they didn't have, you say, well, it's an art. Yeah, but it's probably more like a science, you know, with this kind of item. More like a science and an algorithm than an art. You know, you might watch a video where they're swirling it. Oh, yes. Sure. All right. Piperdean hit the market in 2016. I thought it was 2015, but no, I checked. The trademark was acquired in 2016. So for 2 long years, Piperdean's been around. And for 53 years, 100 Pipers has been lurking on the bottom shelf in the dark corners of America's cities. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. They used to run advertisements for this stuff, like in men's magazines, let's call it. And it was all about like, oh, look at this beautiful woman, and she's with me, and we're drinking Piperdean, 100 Pipers. And then I saw some advertisements in like Esquire magazine, which was like a former men's magazine, so to speak. They like try to distance themselves from that and then become like a legitimate magazine with just like articles about interest rates and Europe and stuff, you know. But anyway, but they would talk about, if you read the old old advertisements, they're talking about, at first they're all about, oh, the story of Bonnie Prince Charlie and the 100 Pipers, you know, and the bravery of the men, and et cetera, and all that business. And then the later articles talking about, look at this laboratory in Scotland. The Seagram's company ensures that and I don't think they were lying, you know, maybe overplaying it, but they're talking about how, oh, they use over 100 different whiskeys in the blend, and they have to work on it to expertly taste it. Yeah, you know, because like when it was owned by Seagram's, it was more of a premier budget scotch, if you want to use that term. Because obviously the premier was the Chivas Regal. The Chivas, I'm saying Chivas. Yeah, the Chevrolet Regal. The Chevrolet Scotch. The Chivas Regal. Chivas. And but then when Seagram's went kaput, then you didn't see ads anymore in the 90s when they was wasting all their money on buying magazine companies and owning amusement parks and everything else. And oh yeah, we forgot about the liquor, and they had so much debt they couldn't even make their payments, and they went blah, blah, blah. But so then 100 Pipers became in America just a cut rate budget item, and in India it's still a top selling product. It's like in India it's one of the top products, but you know, we're not in India right now. Is it the same recipe as India? Well, I think it is. There's this unknown distillery in Scotland. They produce it. Pernod Ricard buys the overseas, you know, their batch or their quantity, I should say, their quantity for the overseas market. And then there's Heaven Hill buying it and shipping it over here and bottling it for their market. Okay, and then but we don't get the 12-year age. Not that I could see. Okay. Now, will you ever see an advertisement for Piperdean? I would say no way, no how, no kind of way. You'll see it sitting on this set. You'll see it on the shelf in an Albertson store, all lonely, surrounded by other Scotch whiskeys. And then, but you'll see that price tag that'll say $5.99. You know, it's on sale. It's one of those items that's like always on sale. You know what I mean? It's like normally it's $7.99 or $8.99, but there's a manager special, $5.99 in perpetuity. All right. Well, you can see, maybe, I don't know. The 100 Pipers is slightly darker than the Piperdean. I know the Piperdean is a little more pale gold, and this one is more of a burnished gold. Brian Cardona. Hello, Brian Cardona. Thanks for watching. Did the Cinco de Mayo really taste like a tortilla? Yes. Because, you know, a corn tortilla, yeah. But that's not really that remarkable, because my daughter was saying that Bush Light tastes like a tortilla, a corn chip kind of thing. I like the Cinco de Mayo. I would drink it again. It would go well with a Mexican platter. especially one that was highly spiced. But the problem with the Cinco de Mayo is it's twice the price of Tecate, and it's no better. Now you say, yo, you said it's an A minus. I know, but I would say that Tecate is an A minus, and I can get Tecate 12 pack for $11.99, and I could get the Cinco de Mayo 6 pack for $10.99. So I think you can figure out which one I'll be buying. All right, so here we go. $8.99 for the 100 Pipers and at Mathern's, and $5.99 for the Piperdean at Albertsons. If it's a tie, then we know the answer. The 100 Pipers loses because it's $3 more. If the price, I mean, if the whiskeys are similar or a tie or virtually a tie, then the lower price always wins by default, right? It's the only answer. It's the only answer. There's no other answer. Do I think I'll be able to tell them apart? Yes. Why? Well, to tell you the truth, I think the Cinco de Mayo. I have to go to Walmart and buy some salad. I think I'll get spinach salad. I think the 100 Pipers is going to have more of a corn flavor. Talking about corn chips. The 100 Pipers is strange, you know, like the initial rush is smoke, peat, fine. I'm not smelling anything right now, by the way, for either one. But then that quickly dissipates, and then all you're picking up is the underbody, the chassis, the mainframe, the motherboard of the whiskey. And what is that? A lot of corn distillate. It's not too remarkable. Well, it is remarkable in that sense, but it's not too good. The Piperdean, on the other hand, seems to be that it presents more peat, more smoke, and it's lighter in the body. It's got a little more finesse, let's call it. You know what? Do they have an age statement here? I don't think they do. Well, could be more than 3 years. You know, that's the funny thing about Sazerac. They put out some cut rate items that are aged like higher than the minimum. Like, you know, they could just, they only have to age them like 2 years. Actually, you know, they don't, these blended whiskeys, there's really no age requirement, but, oh, they'll go 4 years, you know, at least 4 years for some of them. So it's kind of strange. Sazerac does some peculiar things. All right, anyway, let's go on with the taste. Got to be a little careful with this because I think if I glance, the lighter appearance might throw it off. They're close in appearance, but there is a slight difference. And I don't want to taint this examination, this very important examination. I mean, the stress is pretty bad because I got to get it right. Yeah, right. My friend David, you remember he called me yesterday during the examination, interrupted my examination. And for what reason? To tell me he was going to the emergency room. Well, of course, that's an important matter. So that would disrupted the whole examination, but that's okay, you know. But I said, what in the world? And his foot was all blown up like a balloon, and he was in a panic, you know, and it was going, oh Lord, you know. I went over to his house yesterday, and the swelling was going down, but then we went to Mass across the river and at the St. Joseph Church and Shrine. It's a shrine too there in Gretna, Louisiana. But then we went to somebody's house. I had to get some stuff over there on St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans on the streetcar line. And then I was trying to leave, let's leave. And the person, she was talking, but then I noticed, I could see, I said, your foot is probably getting swollen again. You better get home. I told him he shouldn't even go with us, you know. But so I'm gonna call him later and say, how's that foot? So no beer reviews from him for a while. He can't even drink any beer until a week from today. That's gonna be a challenge, you know, when you get in a habit, let's call it a habit. Then you can't fulfill the habit. No, yeah, I think I'd have a harder time giving up coffee though. If I don't drink coffee, I feel sick, you know. If I don't drink beer, I mean, I miss it, of course, but But it doesn't bother me like if I don't drink coffee. That really freaks me out. I get like I get ill. Like really okay. You say, well, when's the last time you gave up beer? Like when's the last time you didn't drink beer? Oh well, I mean, people will tease me, but I think back to February 1996. I bet you I could find 4 different days where I did not consume any beer or alcohol. I think I could show that. It may not be as many as 4 days, but I bet you it's at least 4 days. So, haha, I've skipped a few days. Now, how do you feel? Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, theoretically, yeah, I'll easily give it up. Okay, this one here has got that fine aroma. I'm starting to already know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm getting a lot of peat. Now you say peat, a lot of intricate peat, and it's fine too. It's hard to describe it. It's like a fine, light peat aroma and smoke, similar to Cutty Sark, believe it or not. Not getting a whole lot of corn base. It's there, of course, but it's not heavy. All right. Okay. All right. How about that? Oh boy. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to get some tortillas today. Oh boy. Ta-da. Okay, let me talk about this. This one here, it just has that 100 Pipers thing going on with it. And I've had 20% of the bottle already. There's something about like its heavy base. I don't mean like do 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 do. I mean like bulk. Is there smoke? Yeah. Is there peat? Yeah. But it's almost like subsumed or it's being absorbed by that corn base. It's like there's corn starch sucking up the aroma. Jeff Knapp says, you ever consider doing coffee reviews? I mean, I would consider, but I don't know enough about I barely know enough about beer, whiskey, and wine to even talk about them on the air. So coffee, I'm so like under prepared for coffee. My experience with coffee is I drink it. You know what I mean? Like they got coffee experts that would just probably come to my house and physically attack me for giving my opinions about coffee. They would say, you just do not know how to drink coffee. It is so embarrassingly bad. I like coffee and chicory. All right. Another thing this has is like a okay. It's going to be a little hard. I don't mind looking down now because it's obviously 100 Pipers, so I'm not tipping myself off. I mean, I knew I was going to. It's got a it's like no, it's like a sharp, not a sourness, but like a sweet and sour sauce, something. I don't know. It's coming from that corn. It's some kind of little tweak to it. I can't describe it. You'd have to drink it to experience, but it's distinctive, and you wouldn't get it mixed up. All right. Oh yeah, the Piperdean is much more organically. It's like organic soil peat, right? Peat and the smoke. Well, the smoke has dissipated. Now you just got the peat. All right. Well, I ought to go with the taste, but this is the preliminary result. Preliminary results indicate that this is Piperdean and this is Ancient 8. I don't know where that's coming from. I guess because of Sazerac. Piperdean is Sazerac. This is the Heaven Hills 100 Pipers. Okay, I'll get it straight. You say, you've been drinking, huh? Yeah, coffee. Drink 3 cups of coffee. Huh? All right. Oh, man. That is like corn, whiskey. Oh, golly gee. Are you into light beer? Yeah, a little bit. My friends always want to drink beer like Michelob, but I'd rather have some Budweiser. Oh, you mean Michelob Ultra? Yeah, I mean Michelob Ultra's got so little character. I like the Ultra Organic, you know, that gold. It's got a little more character, but I'd rather drink Michelob, the original Michelob, the 5% alcohol, you know, the one you can't get anywhere. I think they intentionally don't let you get it because they don't want it to compete with Budweiser, because everybody would stop drinking Budweiser and go to Michelob since it's way better, you know. It's like you got to be careful not to just cannibalize your own company by putting out products that are better than your flagship. Well, that's a common thing, though, isn't it, in the beer world? The flagship can't stand up to the better items. But anyway. Oh, man. I swear, you could go buy some McCormick whiskey, blended whiskey that's $5.99 a bottle, and it's going to taste so much like this. You say, but that's not Scotch. Yeah, I know, but it's kind of like the same thing. Or you could go buy some $5.99 Canadian Leaf. Oh, let's not say Canadian Leaf. How about, I'm trying to think of one that doesn't have the flavoring. You know, VO, Seagram's VO, you know. Okay, that's $16. I'm trying, well, whatever one of those that doesn't have like that heavy flavoring. It's going to taste like this because that undercurrent always shines through if you drink and think on these enough. And it's that corn base. Oh boy! All right. Don't use whiskey for mouthwash. Hey, now this is freaking me out because I'm really freaked out, man. You know, I'm really freaked out. I am going to listen to Jimi Hendrix later today, 50th anniversary this year of Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland? You know, have you ever been there? Because I want to show you. All right. And yesterday I was listening to Crown of Creation, 50th anniversary. You are the crown of creation. That's a weird album. All right. Well, that's what happens when you take a lot of LSD and other psychedelic drugs. You make weird albums. All right. I'm a little thrown off because all I've said to set this up, and I was bashing this, it's got more of a smoky flavor than that. That one has a smokier and finer. Notice I said fine, more finesse. But this one's got more taste attribute, facility, declaration. It comes in almost neutral, and then it builds like that. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to make this bigger than it is. When you sip it, it first comes in as it's neutral, and then boom, then there's this big peak of smoke, like smoked pork. Think of smoked pork. And then it dies at the end of the sip. Well, that's very interesting. Maybe I jumped the gun on this because I was getting ready to talk about how Piperdean was just going to kill it, you know, because of all the finesse and the fine qualities, and it's $5.99 and it's a way better value than the $8.99 100 Pipers. But watch out, be careful when you jump the gun, because this one is showing a lot more sturdy taste character than the other one. Glad I said preliminary. I have a feeling this is going to taste a lot like that Winn-Dixie Scotch, which I'm not planning to buy. There's a Winn-Dixie Scotch, aged 3 years, but it says aged 3 years. Now, this one doesn't have an age statement, so I bet it's not quite the same product, but it's from the Founders Company. You know what I mean? Sazerac. I drank it all down. Yeah, like this one has more corn base. I mean, yeah, it's got I mean, yeah, it's got smoke, but the flavor, the base is corn distillate. I mean, watered down to 80 proof. Okay, yeah, right. But I mean, I understand that. Oh, all right. I got to taste some more over here. I got to drink half the bottle of each to get a handle on it. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I would never do that. Even if I was some old drunk, I wouldn't do it because I want to save these for taste challenges. You know what I mean? Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. There's no competition here. I'm very shocked. There's no way the one on the left, maybe you're right, can stand up to one on my right. The one on the right is killing the one on the left. Not in aroma, but you do drink whiskey more than smell it, right? Like the proof is in the eating or the consumption, not the smelling. Whoa, keep up the good videos, man. Saludos from McAllen, Texas. Oh, okay, thank you. I've been to McAllen, Texas, in fact. And what's that other town? Is it Hidalgo? Hidalgo, Texas? Right on the border? Yeah, yeah, I've been there. No, McAllen is like above, right along 83, US Highway 80, kind of like an interstate. But a US highway really is an interstate highway. It's just the older version. But anyway, yeah, okay, I know that whole area. Rio Grande Valley, so-called valley, more like a basin. Okay, all right. I swear I am thoroughly shocked. I mean, I'm beyond, I can't get over it. I mean, I really can't get over it. And I went to sleep last night at 10 o'clock and I was like excited, like, oh, I can't wait to wake up and do the taste challenge. I mean, it is going to be something else, but it was going to be the opposite in my mind of what's happening here. This here has so much more character, depth of flavor. Man, I'm just, well, I guess if you got $8.99 and you got $5.99 and you want to buy 2 regular sized bottles of whiskey to check them out, this would be a good deal, you know, because it's a lot more complex than I ever dreamed, you know. And I think this is 100 Pipers, and I think it's shining through it, and it is kicking butt. And you know, this thing is like, it's kicking this thing's behind and taking names. I mean, this is no joke. You just never know, boy. You never know until you do a blind taste test. All right, I'm going to call it. I think this is 100 Pipers, and I think it is a definite winner. There's no doubt about it. And it is worth $3 more a bottle, and probably more than $3. If I'm wrong, I'm embarrassed because I've gotten like 10 in a row correct. 100p. I knew it. I knew it was 100 Pipers. It's distinct. You'll never confuse 100 Pipers with another whiskey. I don't believe that's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, I'm building it up like, oh yeah, you know, this store brand whiskey is going to show 100 Pipers what's up. Sorry, people, but 100 Pipers busted its, you know what. Dancing dogs, I guess sometimes you get what you pay for. Yep. I got to take a little bit more taste of this. I mean, this has got me confused like man, I am confused like a person who's confused. He says, though, you know me, I love a bargain. Well, I love a bargain too, but this one got me freaked out. Now the aroma. Now, if you want to buy the whiskey just to sit there and smell it, go ahead. Get the 100 Pipers because it'll outshine the 100 Pipers. I mean, get the Piperdean because it beats the 100 Pipers in aroma. But something tells me that American people do not buy whiskey to sit and smell it. And it's starting to take on like a candy smell. Like candy corn, like Halloween night, and those kids are eating that candy corn and then they go vomit later because they ate all that corn syrup. You know, this is kind of like that. It doesn't keep its character. It doesn't maintain it. It breaks down. And you'll notice that about these cheap whiskeys, they'll start to break down under pressure. And I mean examination pressure. They will not maintain. So they're kind of deceptive in a way. They're figuring you pay $5.99. You're one of these people that's not reflective and you're just going to drink it, mix it quick. Fine. In that utility, it works great. You buy it for $5.99. You got the ice. You got your seltzer water. You got your whatever you want to make a scotch, whatever you make with it. It'll work fine. But boy, oh boy, when you start thinking on it and drinking on it, it does not hold together. And it was strange because when I did the independent review, independent now, sitting at that kitchen counter table, drinking it on its own merits, it did fine, and I was impressed. But that's the importance of the taste challenge, the blind taste challenge too, by the way. Blind. You start putting one up against the other, and it can just get trounced, killed, stomped, beat up. And this today is no kind of contest, but I'm so stunned because I thought it was going to be the other way around. Just goes to show you, you think you know, but you don't know, and you'll never know. Well, you might know. You're right. They count on people mixing them to mask the weaknesses. I mean, yeah. And they also count on people not doing blind taste tests like I'm doing, because who in the world does that besides me and a handful of other people on the internet? Well, it's a dawn busters, but look at it, it's daytime now. I got to go walking. I got to walk 1.5 miles today. I'm going to break it up into three sections, half a mile, and half a mile. And then I got to go buy salad. I got to go to the ATM, you know, all these important things. You know. But, oh, it's unreal. I mean, it's a joke. It's a pathetic joke. It is a joke, people. This 100 Pipers, it is only good in the initial presentation. Let me take, because there's no underneath character. But the 100 Pipers holds its character. There is so much more smoke. There's so much more peat. There's so much more smoked meat throughout the sip. Not just, I talked about that peak and then it dropped. It doesn't even hardly drop off. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I was right. I told them, I could tell them apart. I did that in the sip. I mean, the aroma, you saw that. I could tell one from the other right there in the smell. Okay, fine. But I'm wrong in the sense that I thought the 100 Pipers was going to get beat. No. Well, that's got me a little bit perplexed now, because I'm going to do the Piperdean up against everything else. Like Cutty Sark, I hate to see what's going to happen when it goes up against Cutty Sark. That might be the most monstrous disparity in the history of blind taste tests at 5:30 in the morning. I dread to see. And just imagine what's going to happen with the Buchanan's 12-year aged. Oh. Oh, wow, baby. On another note, I'm looking forward to watching LSU this season. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. I said 8-4, but now with all these internal problems and all this preseason humbug, 8-4 would be like it'd be like a national championship season, because I got a lot of dread going into it. They're not going to beat Miami, the Hurricanes. I cannot see that happening. I'm sure they'll beat Southeastern Louisiana. I'm planning to go to that. That could be a fiasco. But boy, if they lose to them, you know, Ed Ogeron would be fired before the end of the third quarter, I believe. They might say, "You're not coming. Go away, get off the field." But of course, they would never lose to Southeastern. I don't know. It could be an interesting season, you know. Oh well. Thanks for watching this video production, and I can't get over it. I'm like flabbergasted, really. I mean, this 100 Pipers has done so many interesting things this morning. Let me look for sediment. Clear as a bell. You never saw a clearer product than that. That's clear. They're both clear. There's no sediment issue. Anyway, that's it. I can't wait till Tuesday. That's the next planned Dawn Busters. I just can't wait. I want to do it now, but I'm not. I'm going to wait. I'm like Michael Corleone. I'm going to wait.